Good afternoon, my student. Is my slide is visible from your side?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So in the illumination, I have already discussed lot of things. Okay. So basically, different laws of sorry, I have discussed about different different important features of the illumination, then discuss about different definitions of that related topics of the illuminations and their measurement, how we are going to measure them, and different mathematical approaches. Okay, after that I discussed about laws of illuminations and their proofs. Okay, so then some numerical problems are there based on the laws of illuminations, and then we discussed about different sources. Laws means what are the different types of sources, okay, and their mathematical derivations, and some of the examples I have discussed. Then polar curves also been discussed, how to find out the illuminating plane, means candle power distributions throughout the plane. Okay, if you have the reflector, so what type of curvature will become. Okay, so some numerical problem you may practice to your home, okay, with the different books of the illuminations, means utilization of electrical energy, so you can follow them, so you can understand, and some of the you follow them for the theory, and you can also solve the different numerical problems on it. So at the time of exam you can understand, so how different types of problem may come to the exam. Okay, and you are able to solve that problem easily. Okay, so in my last class I just completed on the diffusion and reflecting sources, okay, of the illuminations. Means we have discussed about the more thrust on the smooth surface. Okay, smooth surface, and if your surface is unsmooth, means uneven, so what will be the diffusions normally happen for the uneven surface. Okay, so here for that smooth surface, directly light is passing through the surface, means covered area of your illuminating sources. Okay, so based on the scheme, okay, so you know that diffusions and reflections, okay, both that depends what type of source you are going to be used for the illuminating purpose. So today I am going to discuss about different lighting schemes for the illumination. That topic I will cover by today. Okay, so from that figure you can see there are different types. Okay, from the points it is mentioned that what are the important types of different sources, means lighting sources. So number one is your direct lighting. Okay, so from the definition you can understand. Okay, so what do you mean by the direct lighting? Okay, so direct lighting, then indirect lighting, okay, then semi-direct lighting, semi-indirect lighting, and finally general diffusion system. So last class that your illumination laws, okay, related to your types of reflectors and types of the lighting processes. Okay, so if it is a smooth surface, so direct reflections happen. Okay, but if it is not smooth, so diffusion kinds of things also been observed. So based on that stature, so based on that concept, so you can generalize, you can categorize the lighting schemes. Okay, so that's the way I have segregated. So from the direct lighting here, from the pictures you can see that your means sources of light visible directly from your eyesight. Okay, so that means the outside here you can see the covering, or you can say like the reflectors are there. Okay, and your main light is there, it will be directly illuminated to the point, okay, to the points of the system as well as the surface. Okay, so downward distribution is 60%. Here you can see that candle power distribution from the polar curve. Okay, that pointed light source is here, then it will be that pointed source will be here, then it will be distributed at that manner. Okay, so I have discussed five important terminologies are there. Okay, so then I will discuss about right now the direct lighting. Okay, so in direct lighting you can see from the diagram, so directly it is illuminated to the surface. Okay, so from the important point, So you are here, you can understand that light from the source, okay, light from the source fall directly on the objects, okay, that's why it is known as direct lighting, okay. Objects or the surface of the illuminated. So here, you know, if the object is there means directly it will be illuminated to the surface where you want to illuminate the light sources, okay. With the help of shade and globes, okay, shades and globes and the reflectors of the various types, it's called shades, okay, so it is your reflectors, okay, so different reflectors are there, that fin type things you can see now, fin, okay, that is the reflectors, okay, these all are the reflected, and this one is your main source of light, like your fluorescent lamp, okay, and these all are the called the lights, okay. So shades, reflectors, globes, most of the light is directly to the lower hemisphere, okay, directed to the in the lower hemisphere. So it is an upper hemisphere that is already covered, okay, so lower hemisphere is open, so light is emitting. Here it is your source of light, okay, that is your source of light directly emitting to your lower hemisphere. So this one is your lower hemisphere, so directly it is coming. Okay, similar kinds of thing also happened here. Okay, these all are the reflector. Okay, and also the brilliant source of light is kept out the direct line of visions. Okay, that means initially I told you, so it is visible from your side, so directly light is shown by the eyesight. Okay, direct illuminations by the lamp is suitable. Reflectors can be supplemented by the standard, okay, standard or bracket lamps. Okay, so bracket lamp means your holder is there in your home, you know, that is one bracket lamp means holder is there where you are connect, where you are mounted your LED lamp, sometimes fluorescent incandescent lamp. Initially it was an incandescent lamp, right now you are using the LED lamp. Okay, before that LED there was CFL. Okay, so that holder is there, it is called the bracket lamps, okay, or the desk, okay, or the desk, or by the additional pendant fitting over the center. Okay, so these all are the normal holding stations for your direct lighting approaches. Okay, so which are the normal holding stations? So bracket lamp, examples are the bracket lamp, then your desk lamp, okay, or by additional pendant. Pendant means actually holding, hanging or mounting holders. Okay, directly you can pull it down from your upper surface to your system. Okay, so here you can see the diagrams for the direct lighting methodologies. Okay, so I think all of you can understand. So okay, first one is your direct lighting, then we'll discuss about what the next one, that is your indirect lighting. Okay, so sorry, another important features are still pending. So how much amount of focused area is there? So the fundamental point, okay, so what are the important fundamental points for remembering? The planning of any of the lighting installation is the sufficient and sufficiently uniform light. Okay, so main concept is that the distribution should be uniform. Okay, sufficient and sufficiently uniform lighting to be provided at the working or the reading plane. Okay, so that you can go for that working and the reading plane. So where your place of work, okay, that should be there, and the reading plane. Okay, so that means you are using a desk, that holding lamp at your desk. Okay, so that's why it is called reading plane. So equal distribution or uniform distributions of the light, that's the main motivations, okay, for this type of lighting. For this purpose, the lamps are suitable. Okay, size have to be located and the furnished with the such fittings. Okay, so it should be furnished so with the suitable fittings as give the correct degree and the distribution of illumination at the required place. So which place means basically based on your applications, like your machine. So in case of if you are using the traction, so what type of machines you are going to be used? You are going to be used the series motor. Okay, if you are getting for constant power applications, or sorry, constant voltage applications, so what type of motor you are going to be use? Machine. So normally we are using the DC shunt motor. Okay, shunt machines. Okay, so that type of purpose. So which purpose you are going to be use your system for the illuminating system. Okay, so based on your system designing, you can choose that it should be direct lighting, it should be indirect lighting, whatever you are asking. So in the basic benefits of that direct lighting is that the flux, okay, the flux are equally distributed more overall the place. Okay, that means the lower hemisphere of that light one. Okay, so it will be equally distributed. Moreover, it is important to keep the lamps and the fittings can otherwise fitting clean, otherwise the decrease and effective illumination due to dirty bulbs or the reflectors may be amount of 15 to 25% of office of the domestic lighting at the more of the industrial area are the results of the few weeks neglect. Okay, so then what happened? So what are the advantages? Advantages from that study you can understand that basic advantages uniformly distributed lighting. Okay, that is your most of the important advantages. Okay, but there is some and the distributions. Okay, and you will get that furnished. Okay, that means required furnished platform also be required, but main disadvantages is that actually you have to maintain the maintenance. Okay, that is another disadvantage. Basically directly lighting is coming to your illuminating surface. Okay, and here you can see that applications, versatile zone of application, it is used in your home. Okay, in different office. Okay, different office, then industrial purpose, industrial area. So that's why it is written that domestic lighting and more of the industrial area. Okay, that type of lighting you are using. But the main problem is that disadvantage is that due to the rapid using of this one, basically it is using in the industrial area. No? So a lot of dust particles. Okay, a lot of moistures, everything will be coming. Okay, so that will be coming to the just besides, it will be placed just beside of the reflectors. Okay, so if it is sitting there, means all the dirty particles are coming to the reflector. So illuminating nature, that means the reflecting capability of the reflector is going to be deteriorates. Okay, so if it is going to be deteriorate, so that may reduce the efficiency of the illumination. Okay, so that is another problem. So regular maintenance work is required. Okay, so by using this direct type of lighting. Okay, then we will discuss about second one. So indirect type of lighting. Okay, so first I have completed direct lighting, then we have discussed about indirect lighting. So from the definition you can understand. So indirect lighting means the, and you can see that covering. Okay, so that reflectors. Okay, reflectors is overall cases that cover your lights. Okay, so basically what illuminating light, sometimes I'm telling you not direct, there is a chances of the dirty atmospheres to aging effect to your illuminating substances. So that's why the covering is required. If the covering is there, so then what type of concept will be coming? Then diffusions. Okay, so diffusion also be there. Diffusion, indirect lighting. So main concept focused was the reflection. Okay, reflections of the surface. Now it is covered, totally covered. Okay, for the indirect lighting. So the concept of diffusion is coming. So concept of diffusion means it will be distributed throughout the area. Okay, so then you can see from the diagram. So different indirect lighting concept, different diagrams are there. So distribution upward is almost 80% and downward is 0%. Previously that distribution in downward 60%. Okay, there is no distribution on the upward. Basically that covered area was there. Okay, so covered area was there, so that's why upper hemisphere there is no illuminating, no illuminations from this light source. Okay, so due to the presence of this cover area. So different differences I think all of you can understand. Okay, so in case of indirect lighting, so what are the important point? In this form of lighting, the light does not reach the surface directly. Okay, light does not reach the surface directly from the source. Okay, but indirectly by the diffuse reflections. Okay, that I am telling you. So diffuse reflections means enter to the surface, means surface is uneven, so it will be diffused. Okay, it will be distributed throughout the area. Okay, the lamps are either placed behind the cornice, okay, or in the suspended opaque okay, of the bowels. Okay, so you can see so that suspended bowel loop type of shapes is there. So actually it is the diffuse type of reflection is observed here, and it will be reflected towards upperward side. So like that illumination will be in coming like that way. So that entire room will be distributed. Okay, but no direct lighting. Okay, so also the intensity of the light may be reduced. Okay, so then what will be the both the cases, the silver reflectors. Okay, silver reflectors which is corrupt or eliminating the stations. Okay, station is placed beneath of the lamp. Okay, so you know that one, the reflector. So basically the reflectors portions are the most important. Okay, and directly it is not coming to the surface. Okay, indirectly it is coming. So for this one, who is the taking the responsibility? The reflectors. Okay, that silver coated reflectors are there. Why silver coated? Basically by this method the reflection will be most of the reflections can be possible. That's why it is silver coated reflectors. Okay, so that means the all the light, okay, all the light beam directly it will be scattered. Okay, all the light beam it will be automatically scattered throughout the surface. Okay, that's why silver reflector is there, and it is not directly coming to the illuminating surface. Okay, normally it is like that. In direct illumination it is that light is visible from the eyesight. Okay, but in this case the light, so basically it is just reversed one. Okay, it is just most of the cases reversed one of your direct lighting concepts. Okay, so what are the important points on it? So basically that important points for indirect lighting. Okay, so maximum light, so throughout the maximum light is shown in the upward on the ceiling. Okay, so I am telling you, so it is reverse, the positions of the located light located is reversed, like compared to your direct lighting method. So what happened? Most of the light beams, okay, most of the light beams scattered towards your ceiling. Okay, that if you have placed it in your home, okay, so it will be towards the ceiling. Okay, from which it is distributed overall the room by diffuse reflections. So that means ceiling means right now you are using that wall putty or plaster of Paris. So ceiling is more or less smooth, but it is not so smooth like your mirror. Okay, like your reflector. So that what happened. So you know that wall is a good reflector of the sound, but wall is not a good reflector of the light. Okay, why? Basically in sound wave the wavelength is very the light wave, that wavelength is very less than of your sound wave. So the reflector, if instead of wavelength you can say like that, which surface is diffused and which surface is reflected. Okay, means smooth reflector and diffuse reflector based on your wavelength. So concept compare of your lighting wave. Okay, that wavelength is very small compared to your sound wave. So room wall means your domestic room wall or industrial wall may be reflector, good reflector for the sound, but in case of light it is not a good reflector. So basically due to the uneven nature of the surface. Okay, I think all of you getting my points. So that's why that if the light will be towards the ceiling, okay, light face is towards the ceiling, so light beam is coming from the source and it is directly coming to the surface. Okay, as it is uneven, so diffuse reflection is observed. So for first case, the total is smooth surface reflection you can observe for the direct lighting. For indirect lighting, you are using the diffused surface. Okay, and the light towards will be the ceiling. Okay, light distribution towards the ceiling. So even gradation of the light on the ceiling is secured by careful adjustment of the positions and the number of the lights. Okay, so if there is a number of lights means in the office area, if you are going very old office area, if not for the right ones, recent one, very old office area, you can see in normally in case of old post office, you can see all the light beams. Okay, all the light beams are there is a casing type of thing. Okay, so there is a casing, all the lights are covered by this casing. Okay, and if the light is turned on, you can see that to enter casing is glowed. Okay, and light is coming towards the public area. Okay, so like that was. So positions, if you change the number of light, okay, for increasing of the intensity of the light flux, okay, illuminating flux, so you have to increase the number of lamps, otherwise indirect heating, so few of the light beams may be lost. Basically, it is not coming to the directly environment. Okay, so lighting environment. So in this concept of the bowel type of lighting, the bowel fitting are the generally suspended about the three-fourth of the light, three-fourth of the height of the room, and in this case the cornice lighting thrives of the curves profile aids, and that in the throwing of the light out into the room is illuminated. Since the indirect lighting is a whole of the light on the working place is received by the diffuse reflection. So basic thrust on that indirect lighting is based on the concept of the diffuse reflections. And if you placed one, you know that garden light. Okay, so if it is normally 5 feet height, okay, that lighting is used for the gardening. Okay, that indirect lighting. Okay, direct lighting is not there. Okay, so some covering is there, so it will be diffused. The covering material is be designed such a manner so it will be diffused in a well manner. Okay, it is important to keep the fitting cleans. Okay, so definitely fitting clean means light having some light, then covering area, then holder. Okay, a lot of things are there. So definitely the fittings cleans, as well as in dirty dust. Sometimes dust may enter to the system, so that may unused that may cause for accelerating the aging effects of your fittings or covering material. So and that's why you should use such type of idea, such type of concept. Okay, so that may reduce your fitting cost. Okay, and your fitting making maintenance, less maintenance cost. Okay, that should be another. So one is cost efficient, another one is less maintenance cost. Okay, so different concepts are coming. Okay, one of the main characteristics, okay, of the indirect lighting, characteristic of indirect lighting is that the provide the shadowless illuminations. Okay, for direct lighting you can see there is a direct shadow. If you're reading a book, you can see the shadow of your pen. So if you're writing something, okay, in the reading desk or writing desk at the presence of the direct lighting, so you can see the shadow is directly coming. But in case of indirect lighting, the shadowless concept is there. Okay, the shadowless illumination you can observe, and very useful for drawing office, as well as it will be eye soothing. Okay, in drawing room if you place such type of lighting arrangement, so it should be the eye soothing. Okay, and compositions room. Okay, so also compositions room means like your some person from the music background. Okay, so they are trying to compose, so mental state, mindset. So lighting have a good lighting and singing and your music having good effects on that, good effects on the psychology of that human psychology. Okay, so there is a, if the lighting concept as well as the music system concept also give the more trust. Okay, for designing of that illuminations of any of the meditation room. Okay, illumination of the any of the composition room, so that's very important. Okay, direct lighting may cause for some irritation. Okay, so that's why indirect lighting and how efficiently you have designed that indirect lighting. Okay, that is also important. Those are for illuminating engineer, like those are working in different illuminating industries like Philips. Okay, that is renowned one. Philips is the renowned one. So another new Soria, then different names of companies are there, manufacturing companies are there. So they are working on different illumination manufacturing company. They need, the designers need to know about the very bright concepts or good concept on that distributions of the flux, to what type of illuminating natures you are going to be used. That type of question may be countered at the time of interview. Okay, so that questions you need to know for this one in the workshop. Okay, especially what the large machines and other obstructions would cause the troublesome shadows if direct lighting were used. Okay, so where the direct lighting is not suitable for using, so you are using indirect lighting in the drawing offices, office place, drawing place, composition room, workshop. Okay, these all are the examples. However, many people find purely indirect lighting flat, okay, and monotonous, even depressive. Okay, so sometimes this also been observed. Most of the user demand 50 to 100% or more light at their working place or working plane, indirect lighting than the direct lighting. However, for the appreciating relief, certain portions of the direct lighting is essential. So mixing up, okay, mixing up the direct lighting as well as indirect lighting. So I think all of you are able to understand the importance of the illumination. So basically in these subjects, you know, those are going for more focused on that higher studies based on that illumination. So they should need to know the designing, smart lighting designing of your office, of your apartment, okay, like that one. Then what type of lighting they are asking for it, okay, the public demand, based on the public demand you have to design the lighting concepts. Okay, that's why these all are the very prerequisite to design such type of system. Okay, then we have discussed about the semi-direct concept. Okay, semi-direct concept, semi-direct system. So that was your third one. Okay, that is your semi-direct. After semi-direct, we will discuss about semi-indirect lighting. Okay, semi-direct, then semi-indirect, direct lighting, indirect lighting, then semi-direct lighting, then semi-indirect lighting, then general diffusion systems. Okay, all are there. So individually we will coming. Okay, in case of semi-direct, what you need to do, so you can see for direct lighting there is advantages as well as some disadvantages. Semi-direct use indirect, you can get some of the advantages, disadvantages. So you can improvise, okay, the disadvantages of the direct lighting. Okay, and you can go to the semi-direct approach. Okay, so where you can see that system utilize, okay, this system utilize the luminaries such which send most of the light downwards directly on the working plane. Okay, so you know that drawing board. Okay, so if you see in the engineering drawing class, okay, so only one lamp is focused to your drawing board, means those are working on the architecture. Right now that architecture, you having lot of people having that architecture tool, okay, like AutoCAD. Okay, different architecture tools are there in computer, they can directly do this kinds of thing. But initial days is those are those are specialized on the engineering drawing. Engineering drawing means it's not like that only civil drawing. Okay, machineries drawing, insulator drawing, all are design based applications are there in engineering field. So those are interested on this type of drawing. Okay, so they need to get more light on their workstation. Okay, so this considerable amount of reach and the ceiling and the wall also. Okay, so both the concept is required. Okay, that's why it is called semi-direct. Okay, so direct as well as semi-direct. So some of the light is coming towards your field as well as some of the light is coming towards the ceiling as well as. Okay, so distributions, if you see the polar curve, this distribution means candle power distribution in the polar curve. Okay, that curvature is there. Okay, so that candle power distributions, upward is 30%, but main downward is 45%. Main thrust on the downward, so downward is coming here. Okay, so downward is coming, that is 45%, and upper one is the 30%. So both the way it is maintaining, both the properties you can observe here. The divisions, okay, the division is usually 30% upward and 45% downward. Such a system is best suited for the room with the high ceiling. Okay, those having that high ceiling, that mounted. Okay, your source of light is mounted inside of the room. Okay, so where the high level of uniformly distributed illumination is desirable. So main purpose of work is high level of uniformly distributed illuminations. Okay, glare in such unit is avoided by using diffusing globes, which not only the improve of the brightness towards the eye level but improve the efficiency of the system, which with reference to the working plane. Okay, so working place. Okay, I think all of you are able to understand the basic idea on it. Now we should keep the idea on the semi-indirect lighting. So indirect lighting was there, then semi-indirect lighting. So as per the idea, some of the light should come to the downwards. So that's why it is written that 10% downwards, but most of the light is coming upperwards. So 75% in upperwards. So that lighting is semi-indirect translucent. Okay, the lighting structure is there. Okay, so this is your lighting structure. Okay, for the semi-indirect lights. Okay, so here you can see that mounted, all are in the mounted from the ceiling. Okay, the lamps are mounted and covering is there. In this system, in fact, okay, comprise between the first two systems, direct and indirect, the lighting is partly received by the diffuse reflections, okay, and partly direct from the source. So partial means diffuse reflection is there for upperward, the light should be distributed to the upper side. Okay, that is partial one. Okay, that is diffuse reflection, and some of the light is partly direct to the objects. Okay, so that is coming towards downward. Okay, such a system therefore eliminates the objection. Okay, that eliminates the objection of indirect lighting mentioned above. Okay, that indirect lighting mentioned above, instead of, okay, so instead of using that opaque bowls with the reflectors, okay, the translucent bowls without the reflector are used. Most of the light is as before directed upward of the ceiling for the diffuse reflections. Okay, so it directly goes to the upper part of the ceiling for the direct diffusions. Okay, and the rest reach work plane directly except some of the observation of the bowel. So here you know that directly coming towards the bowel. Okay, so some portion is distributed towards your upperward, most of the portions is towards your upperward, some is towards your downward, only 10%. And last one is the mixing. So that is general diffusing system. Okay, so in generally diffusing system, the luminaries are employed which have the almost equal lighting distribution both downward and the upward as shown in the figure. So both the cases, upward is 40%, downward is 40%. So from the polar curve you can understand. Okay, so upper hemisphere, lower hemisphere, both are there. Okay, so general structure of the lighting will be like that. Okay, so both, that is empty, okay, open to upperwards and as well as empty to lowerwards. Presently you are using this type of, we are using this type of illuminating substances. Okay, so you know that is point light. This is for the fluorescent lamp. Okay, and this is for your incandescent lamp or LED lamp. Okay, LED tube also be there. So both are in tube format and another one is pointed source. Surface format, one is pointed source. Okay, so I think all of you are able to understand the different types of lighting element. Okay, so that is very important for your concept development, and the different questions may come at the time of exam. Okay, so I think you all of you are able to understand. So what are the important purpose? Okay, different purposes of that illuminations. Okay, so from the idea what we can see, so different examples are there. Okay, so there has been the steady movement towards the higher intensities. So we have to go for higher intensities for artificial illumination. So normally natural illuminations is coming from the sun. Okay, and the moon is not using for that illuminations, but normal illumination coming from the sun. But we are also our main thrust area to design the artificial illuminations. Okay, so that's why we are giving more thrust on your artificial illuminations. Okay, for the last few decades. Okay, so that likely continue because the highest intensities in average installations are much less than those of the diffuse daylight. Okay, so at the time of daylight no problem, but at the time of night, okay, so most of the working based on your artificial lighting. So you have to give that, you have to install that cost efficient illuminating systems. Okay, so the human eye is also, it should be the means it should be soothing, eye soothing. Okay, human eye is process the tremendous power of the accommodations or that can work comfortably within the enormous range of illuminations. Okay, so basically what are the examples we are using? We are taking some of the examples for full moon. Okay, so that is 120 lumen per meter square. That is amount of per unit area. Okay, lumen. So diffuse daylight near the window is near a 600 lumen per meter square, value varying widely. Okay, basically if the sun so irradiation has changed, so definitely that value also been changed. Okay, so the full moon light gives your point zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.3 lumen per meter square. So it is your sun is providing 120,000 lumen per meter square. Moon is given 0.1 to 0.3 lumen per meter square. For reading, you should get 20 to 30 lumen per meter square. Generally considered the sufficient. Through the daylight, illumination is much higher. So in daylight, illumination is definitely very high. Okay, some person can read without much strain given when the illumination is low as 3 lumen per meter square. Because of this, the difficult to lay down the different values of the illumination for various purpose, but following the summary will be found useful. Okay, so basically some of the times normally for reading purpose 20 to 30 lumen per meter square is sufficient, but some person having special ability, they can also read around 3 lumen per meter square. So there is some variations, okay, as per the demand. So we are designing or we are providing one table, so based on the reference, okay, based on the reference demand among all those persons. Okay, so here you can see different purpose and place are there, how much lumen per meter square is available. Okay, so precision work, okay, display task requiring rapid discrimination, extra fine, okay, work around needles of the screwing machines, okay, sewing machines, fine engraving, that inspection of the fine deals, however low contrast. Okay, sorry, first one is for your how much illumination is required, that is above 500 lumen per meter square. Then proofreading, okay, so proofreading, drawing, okay, that special skill bench, that is 100 to 200. Okay, and your fine engraving, the inspection of the fine details low, that is 200 to 500. Okay, then drawing office, that I'm telling you, engineering drawing, art exhibition, usual reading, that is required 60 to 100 lumen per meter square. For measurements or drill holes, okay, for simple nature of close attention fine details, that is 40 to 60. These all are the applications. Okay, then different waiting room, auditorium, how much illuminations and general lighting, factory bedrooms, it is required 20 to 40 lumen per meter square. And hospital ward, yard, railway yard, hospital ward, railway yard, platform, corridors, it is you get 5 to 10 lumen per meter square. These all are the generalized examples of different places and different purpose of illumination and their applications. Okay, so I think that is important and you can get your idea from here. Then you know the space and height ratio. Okay, so how much it's a ratio. Space and height ratio means horizontal distance between two lamps, okay, and mounting height of the lamps. So that is the ratio, okay, between two horizontal mounting two lamps and how much level of mounting, okay, the how from the ceiling, okay, how much height is there from the ceiling of that mounting lamps. Okay, so that is important for space and height ratio for standard illuminations in your implementable area. Okay, so which area you are using, so based on that concept you can design your illuminating surface, illuminating number of lamps, how much lamps are required. Some numerical problem will be coming to your exam. Okay, please calculate the number of lamps, and I have mentioned the area, okay, the candle power I have mentioned. Okay, so different sources are there, so everything I have mentioned you need to calculate that how much total, calculate the number of the illuminating substances, means light. Okay, so from this ratio we can understand the ratio depends on the nature of the polar curve of the lamp. Okay, so polar curve of the lamp you are getting, so when used along with the reflector. Okay, so definitely reflector is by default. Okay, the reflector has a tremendous influence on the shape of the polar curve of the lamp. Hence, the value of the space per height ratio in fact depends entirely the type of reflector used. If you using very good quality reflector, means all the light is emitting from the reflector, means more or less all the lights, there will be no absorption, lossless reflector, so definitely it costs more. Okay, you have to use some mercury layer, you have to use some silver layer on the reflector, otherwise the all the light will not be reflected. Okay, for obtaining the uniform illuminations on the working plane, it is essential to choose the correct value of the ratio. Okay, so that selections of the ratio is important when you are going to design the number of lighting source of your calculated area. So I think this is enough for today. So also the time is almost over, I think so. So I think there are other class after my class. Okay, so thank you all of you. If you have any kinds of query, any kind of discussions, you can ask me. So we can also we can, you can write it to the chat box. So we can sometime we can also discuss in my next class. Maybe this class, if we have sufficient time, so we can also discuss them. Okay. I think all of you are getting my points. There are no doubt from your side. I think so. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. There will be no problem. Okay, so no question to the chat box. Okay, so I think there is no doubt from your side. So, okay, we can conclude today's session right now. Thank you.